On the way home from the airport to Geneseo, Route 6 was lined with firemen and policemen at every single intersection from the airport clear to Geneseo. Coal Valley, Kelowna, Osco, Cambridge, Geneseo. There was firemen and policemen at the crossroads with their fire trucks, police cars standing at attention. People along there, I mean, Tyler was in the car with us and he just was speechless. You know, I mean, just to come out and show their support. They had signs saying, "Thank you, welcome home, Tyler." These people were the hands and feet of Jesus. They were his priests. See, these people were just ordinary people like you and I, but they were willing to hear God's call and be his priest and show his love to others. Remember when I said that you might be the only Jesus some of your friends and family might ever know? These people showed that they were the hands and feet of Jesus. It says in 1 Peter 1:8-9, though you have not seen him, you love him. And even though you do not see him now, you believe in him and are filled with an inexpressible and glorious joy. For you are receiving the goal of your faith, the salvation of your souls. I remember that night in April when Tyler was home for leave before heading to Afghanistan. He came up for youth group at our church, and all the youth leaders, the youth and our family laid hands and prayed for him. We prayed for his safety and his protection that night. Even though those words came out of my mouth, God, let me hand him over to you. Let me give him to you fully as your child. Because I know that you love him even more than Rob and I love him. I had a hard time surrendering him, though. I had a hard time surrendering, giving him fully to God. I would in my heart give him to God, and then I would take him back again. And then I would give him and take him back again. I knew in my heart that I could trust God with him, but I was his mom. I was supposed to be one that protects him. And now I know through all of this, when I heard Tyler's story of that day on June 2nd, I knew Tyler should have never made it out of that bombed and burning Humvee. He should have bled to death from the bullet wounds and the muscles being blown out of his legs. His sergeant was there quickly to put a tourniquet on his legs and keep him awake so that he wouldn't go to sleep and die. That sergeant was Tyler's priest on the side of the mountain that day. He should have lost his leg that first week and most likely his life. I then remembered that all along I had prayed for Tyler's safety and protection. God is the one that lifted him out of that burning Humvee that day, that covered his wounds and his body during the gunfire with his own body. He was his mother, he was his father, he was his healer, and he was his Lord. And Rob and I couldn't be there physically for him, but our Lord was Tyler's shelter from the storm. See, he did protect him just like I had prayed he would. I could have trusted him, and I did, but as a mom and as a parent, you know how that is. That's hard. But he showed me that my faith in him, he would never leave him, and he would never leave us, and he'll never leave you. There was once a beautiful statue in Germany, and its hands were outstretched like this. And during heavy bombing of World War II, the hands were broken off. Following the war, a sculptor was hired to repair the statue, but the church members decided not to replace the hands. Instead, they placed a small plaque at the base of the statue that read, "Christ has no hands but yours." You are called to be his hands and feet. You're called to be the hands and feet of Jesus to the world. Remember Isaiah 6:8-9. Then I heard the voice of the Lord saying, "Whom shall I send? Who will be my messenger?" And I answered, "I will go. Send me. Send me, O Lord." Remember our theme song? Remember the song I was talking about, Jesus Bring the Rain? Now I can truly say these words and mean it. And just a little thing before I tell you the words of this song. Tyler, really, if you did not see his legs, you would never really know that anything happened. He's got a little bit of a limp sometimes. I mean, if you saw his legs, you definitely know. Because in a attack, the huge muscle in the front of his leg was blown out of his leg. And so he's got like an indent about that long, probably that wide, and down the front of his leg. And where they tried to pull the muscle over from behind and attach it, so it's like a big divot. And then they pulled, I think it was over 30 pounds of shrapnel out of his legs and things like that. But I know he is truly lucky. He knows in his heart that Christ saved him that day. I continue to ask for prayer for him because in his mind, I don't think he's really dealt with it yet. He's a very intense guy now. He's kind of like he's got a very short fuse, doesn't have a lot of patience. His memory has been affected by it. Like he said, he could study for a test all night and go in to take it the next day and everything's gone. It's just gone. He does not remember. His hearing is affected from it. But I mean, if you would give him the chance to go back there, he'd be back there in a heartbeat. Because he doesn't feel he finished what he went to do. And I think even more so since his friend was killed, he feels like his friend gave up his life for him. He has told me several times that he knows Christ saved him that day, but I really personally, I don't think he's dealt with that Christ has a plan for him and he's got a purpose for him. So I just ask for prayer, not only for Tyler, but for any of these servicemen and women that are coming home, because they are changed. They are changed because they have to see and be a part of things that unless you've been in the military and seen and been a part of things, we can't understand. So I just ask for prayer and protection for all of them. The words to this song, and then we're going to play it and show you a few slides here. It says, I can count 1,000,000 times people asking me, how can I praise you with all I've gone through? The question just amazes me. Can circumstances possibly change who forever I am in you? Maybe since my life was changed, long before these rainy days, it's never really crossed my mind to turn my back on you, O Lord, my only shelter from the storm. But instead I draw closer through these times. So I pray, bring me joy, bring me peace, bring the chance to be free. Bring me anything that brings you glory. And I know there'll be days when this life brings me pain. But if that's what it takes to praise you, Jesus, bring the rain. I'm yours regardless of the dark clouds that loom above, because you are much greater than my pain. You who made a way for me by suffering your destiny. So tell me, what's a little rain? Bring me anything that brings you glory. And I know there'll be days when this life brings me pain, but if that's what it takes to praise you, Jesus, bring the rain.